Hello, I'm Tom from Peavey, and this is the new Vyper Pro. The Vyper Pro is the most advanced modelling amplifier available. For everything I'm going to show you, the main thing to remember is, like all Vypers, this has the trans-tube circuitry, which is a Peavey patent. It's our way of emulating how a tube amp works. It breaks it down to different areas and emulates those, but the main thing to remember is actually an analog preamp. So all the distortions, all the guitar tones are going through an analog preamp, which digital has its problems in creating good guitar tones. So with all Vypers, it sounds really good. However, it's very, very powerful. It can do a lot of different things. Versatility wise, it's huge, because in here we can run 4 different models, but they can be any of an amp model, a stomp box, or a rack effect. And in the first slot here we can also run an instrument model, so something we actually put on our VIPs that we released last year. Instrument models can emulate stuff like a 7-string, for instance, or a 12-string acoustic, or an acoustic, or a bass. So that's a very cool thing. But having these 4 slots means you can actually run different combinations. So you could actually run 4 amps in parallel if you liked, or you could run 3 stomp boxes and an amp, or an amp and a stomp box and 2 effects. You get the idea. It's really versatile, and you can just select which one you want in there, click the dial, and then select. That's a stomp box, so you can then select the stomp box. And then we have the WYSIWYG interface, so you can actually see your parameters and edit them as you go along. Also, delay and reverb wise, we actually have multiple delay and reverb types now. So with your delay, we have different types, such as we have analog delay, modulation delay, multi-tap delay. With your reverbs, we have halls, rooms, cathedrals, lots of different ones, all fully editable. So we have more parameters now for stuff like reverb. So if we select the gated reverb, you have gate threshold, gate hold time, room size, reverb level. Very, very editable. On that note, we can also edit the input and output options. So we've listened to what people wanted from previous Vyper versions, and we've acted. So you can now turn the noise gate on and off. There's a bright switch you can turn on and off. This is per preset, by the way. You can adjust the input sensitivity. So if you have a preset where you're going to use a lower output guitar, you can crank that up. Gate sensitivity and threshold. And you can adjust stuff like the wah intensity if you're going to be using the new Vyper Pro pedal. These expression pedals now can be assigned to any effect parameter. So you can bring in delay levels, feedbacks, etc. as you go. You can also edit the output options. So there's a foot switchable boost where you can define the boost level. The looper level now, you can have the looper level actually louder as you do the loop. The looper you can overdub on as well, so you can do extra layers, which is a really, really, really cool thing. Presence and resonance you can adjust along with an extra master volume there. Also, it has a MIDI output, and we can send MIDI program changes. So this has integration with our AT200 auto-tune guitar, where you can actually change the tuning whilst you change the preset. So it's like the ultimate amplifier. On the back, we have a whole range of output options. We have an MSDI, which is our microphone simulated direct interface, which emulates the sound of a microphone off axis. We can defeat the speaker, so you can use that just for recording. There's an effects loop, there's MIDI options, and also this is dual processor, which is where a lot of the power comes from. That allows us also, with a USB port on there, we can run this as an audio interface, but because of the extra power we can have a really high-end USB port on there. Excellent converters, no noticeable latency at all, very, very low. So this, as it says in the name, is a Pro unit. So that's a Vyper Pro, 100 watts, very loud, and for all the options, all the editability, it sounds really good as well, down to the trans tube. There you go.